Once free agency started, the Warriors quickly lost many of the key role players that helped them to win the championship last season. Warriors fans certainly weren't happy to see guys like Gary Payne II and Otto Porter Jr. walk, but the Warriors front office reacted quickly and made some savvy free agency pickups to make up for the loss of those guys. The Warriors additionally have some solid young players that are ready to step up for a much bigger role next season. And when you combine that deep supporting cast with the same championship core from last season, then it's clear that the Warriors are going to be back-to-back NBA champions next season. But before I break down why, guys, I managed to hit 10,000 subscribers a lot faster than I thought I would. You guys have been amazing, so let's set the new goal to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you enjoy the content, drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button. Now on with the video. Next season, the Western Conference will improve. Teams like the Clippers and Nuggets will be better, but neither of those teams can match the Warriors' talent or their elite play on both ends of the floor, even at their full strength. On offense, the Warriors have incredible shot creators, but instead of playing hero ball, the Dubs rely on team basketball, which is why they're always one of the top teams in assists per game. In the Warriors' half-court offense, there's constant player and ball movement, and the Warriors frequently look to make the extra pass, sacrificing good shots for great shots. And this style of offense works because the Warriors' offense generates tons of easy looks instead of relying on difficult shot making. But of course, it also helps when you have some of the greatest shooters and shot makers in NBA history. Steph Curry, even at age 34, is an offensive juggernaut. He's not only the greatest shooter ever, but an incredible driver and finisher at the rim. He's already an extremely tough cover man-to-man. But the Warriors enhanced Steph's offensive abilities by getting him off the ball and running plays for him to get open looks. Steph is pretty much unstoppable, and he proved this by dismantling the Celtics in the finals, who had the NBA's #1 ranked defense last season. In that finals, Steph averaged 31.6 boards and 5 assists per game on 48% shooting from the field and 44% from 3. Going into next season, Steph is still an absolute cheat code, which makes the Warriors terrifying for the rest of the league. But what makes the Warriors even scarier is that the second Splash brother, Klay Thompson, should be even better next season. Klay played really well for a player coming off a torn ACL and torn Achilles, averaging 20 points per game last season. But he clearly wasn't at the top of his game in the finals, where he averaged just 17 points per game on 35% shooting. And the Dubs still won that finals in 6 games, with Klay being off pretty much the entire series. With a full season post-injury under his belt, Klay will look more and more like his old self next season. Besides, for last year, Klay has never shot under 40% from 3 a single season in his career. The hot shooting from Klay next year will give the Warriors offense even more firepower and punish teams that double team and trap Steph. Klay's improvement will only make the Warriors even better next season. Last season, a third Splash brother emerged in Jordan Poole. Poole was excellent for the Dubs as a 6-man, but also proved he could thrive as a starting point guard. Poole could get hot from outside at any given moment, and he's got unlimited range. Like Steph, the Warriors love using Poole as an off-ball weapon to get him catch-and-shoot opportunities. But Poole is also fast and has a nice handle, so he can get to the rim pretty much at will, and he's an excellent finisher whether it's a strong dunk or a smooth layup off the glass. Going into his 4th year, Poole should be even better. He'll more than likely return to his 6-man role when next season starts, but the Warriors will also play plenty of lineups of Poole alongside their starters to put more shooting and scoring on the floor. Having Maple Jordan, aka Andrew Wiggins, as a 4th option is a luxury that most of the contending teams don't have. Last season, Wiggins was extremely efficient as a knockdown 3-point shooter and slasher to the basket. Thanks to his incredible ups, he's an above the rim finisher, and if you're not careful, you'll find yourself on a poster. He only averaged 17 points per game last year, but he proved in the playoffs that he could step up and have big games when needed. With their incredible talent and team-oriented style, the Warriors' offense is best in the league. But combined with their ultra-elite defense, and the Warriors are second to none in the NBA. Last season, the Boston Celtics were ahead of the Warriors in defensive rating just by a hair. But at their best, the Dubs are truly the best defensive team in the league. What's impressive is that the Warriors were barely behind the Celtics in defensive rating, with Draymond Green playing only 46 games, who's a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate. The Warriors were leading the league in defensive rating last year, but their ranking slipped once Dre went down with a calf injury. When Draymond is healthy, the Dubs have the league's best defense. Just like on offense, the Warriors' superior talent along with their great teamwork make them a nightmare to score against. Draymond Green has been a great defensive anchor for years. He's perhaps the most versatile defender in the league, where he can switch onto a fast wing player like Jaylen Brown and hold his own, or switch onto a big post-up scoring center like Nikola Jokic and lock him up as well. He's also a great vocal leader that empowers his teammates and gets them in the right spots, and his high level of defensive intensity encourages the entire team to play at 100%. This is largely why the Dubs are so much better defensively when Draymond is on the floor. Dre is the defensive anchor, but Andrew Wiggins guards the other team's best wing player, and he regularly does a fantastic job. At 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan along with great athleticism, he matches up really well against opposing wings. In the finals, he held Jason Tatum well below his normal efficiency, which was a huge part of the Warriors winning the championship. He's a phenomenal two-way stud for Golden State. The Warriors' defense will also get a boost from Klay Thompson regaining his defensive prowess. Even though Klay clearly lost a step from when he was an All-NBA defender back in 2019, his defense got better as the season went on. His ability to slide his feet and stay in front of quicker players improved once he got his legs under him, and even though Klay struggled mightily with his shooting in the finals, he did a pretty good job defending Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and he was a big part of the Warriors holding Boston to just 100 points per game in that series. Going into next season, not only will Klay's shooting be better, but expect Klay to regain his elite defensive status, which will make the Warriors absolutely savage defensively. Going into next season healthy, the Warriors will have the best defense in the league, but they'll also remain one of the deepest teams as well. When the Warriors lost veteran free agents like Gary Payton II and Otto Porter Jr., this took away two of the Dubs' top bench pieces, but Bob Myers reacted swiftly by picking up Donte DiVincenzo and JaMychal Green. DiVincenzo is coming off a down year, but when he was last healthy, he was a valuable 3-and-D player starting on the Bucks. JaMychal Green is also a good role player as a shooter, defender, and rebounder. These two guys will solidify the Warriors' second unit, and when you combine those guys with the other pieces like Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and James Wiseman, it's clear that the Warriors will still have one of the best second units in the NBA. Overall, the Dubs have an elite offense and defense, a deep bench, and a supremely talented core that's coming off a championship run. It doesn't make much sense to have any team other than the Golden State Warriors as the favorite for next year's championship. But now I want to hear from you guys. Tell me in the comments if you think the Warriors are going to be back-to-back champions. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it and hit that subscribe button. And click this video to see a deep analysis of the entire Warriors roster headed into training camp.